Hi, I'm Lisa Salt with the Salt Fowler Team at RE/MAX Vernon, your lakeshore specialists, and just wanted to give you an idea of what happened in the lakeshore market in the North Okanagan and in the Okanagan for 2016. There's some pretty exciting changes.
First of all, we want to look at the Central Okanagan just for interest's sake. As you can see, in 2015, there were 58 houses on the water. This doesn't include strata waterfront, but houses on the water that sold in the Central Okanagan in 2015 and 85 in 2016, which is a 46% increase. Very nice. Now, even better, when you come into the North Okanagan, we had 33 sales in 2016 versus 20 in 2015. So we actually had a 65% increase. So we had a much larger increase than the Central Okanagan, even though, of course, our numbers are less because we just have, we just have a smaller population. Give you a quick overview of where the homes sold on the lakefront in the North Okanagan for 2016. We can look at this quick waterfront sales search, and you can see that 3 homes sold out in Adventure Bay, anywhere from, well, actually they were all in the $1.9 million mark. On Bella Vista, there were 4, all from, well, 1.25 all the way up to 2.5 million. Coldstream, 4 in the Coldstream, 1.3 to 2 million. And then Okanagan Landing, we have a range from 658,000 for a house that had most of the land across the road and was a teardown to, oops, just getting to the second page here, all the way up to 1.8 million. And then a few on the west side also that sold for anywhere from 115 to 420. So just going through those in a little bit more detail, the ones in Adventure Bay, we'll just take a quick view through those. As you know, those you go through Canadian Lakeview Estates and then meander your way down to the water. This one's on Kestrel, sold for 1.95. All very beautiful homes. This was built in 2006 with 2,930 square feet. Next, number 11 in Kestrel Place, 1.965 million it sold for, listed for 1.99. Built in 2003 with 3,743 square feet, and you can get a pretty good idea of what the exterior of this house was like. And of course, all the bells and whistles on all of these homes. 1.975, this was number 6, 3,210 square feet, built in 2007, a little newer. And then we're going into Bella Vista now. This is a 1.235 million sale, 2,359 square feet, built in 1968, with 90 feet of water frontage. Older home, but as you can see, lots of upgrades. Nice kitchen, etc. So good size water frontage, a little bit difficult access though, which reflected in the selling price. This one on Kennedy Lane, this one was quite a walk down to the waterfront, and it doesn't show it here, but beautiful views from up here off of Kennedy Lane, which is right off Bella Vista, or right off Tronson Road, and then you walk down here to the waterfront. Built in 92, over 3,000 square feet, sold for 1.335 million. Then this one on a double lot sold for 1.495, on the market for 320 days. A 1958 home, older, 2,385 square feet, however, over half acre, 179 feet of water frontage. So you're not paying as much for the home as you are for the waterfront in this particular situation. And then Beachcomber Bay, again, double lot, 2.5 million. This house has been on the market for many years actually, and it finally sold for 2.5 million. Big house, almost 5,000, just shy of 5,000 square feet, built in 1976. Lots and lots of bells and whistles. Very deep lot, 190 feet of lake frontage and almost an acre. So that's what you get on, basically on the Tronson Road side for $2.5 million. Now we jump into Coldstream because we're doing this alphabetically, and we have a sale on West Cal, which again, of course, you have that traffic. It's actually below the Calview area, as you can kind of see here. It's right there's not very much distance between the road and the house, and not very much distance between the house and the lake. 1946 built, 1,924 square feet, 75 feet of waterfront. As you can see, it's quite dated inside. That one sold for 1.33 million. As you probably have guessed or know, you pay more for properties on Cal Lake than you do on Okanagan Lake. Here's another one on West Cal, 1.425. Again, older home, lots of square footage on one level, 0.23 of an acre. Again, you've got that, you don't have a lot of distance between the road, or the road and the house, and then the house and the lake. Continuing on, Cala Vista Drive. Now you're up at 1.5 million for a 1965 house with 1,862 square feet on 92 feet of frontage. And that was a bigger lot, 0.33 of an acre. So 1.5 for this one at 8506 Cala Vista Drive. Big kind of sprawling rancher. Kinloch, very nice area also, $2 million for a 1973 house on nearly 4,000 square feet with 90 feet of water frontage, just over a third of an acre on this one. Really nice water frontage here. And that's where you get up to that $2 million mark. Again, you're paying more for the land than you are for the house, although the house was a nice rancher with a basement. So you can see in really nice shape. Now going back, now we're on Okanagan again and looking at Okanagan Landing. So this is the one I was saying initially sold for $658,000 and has the property on the opposite side of the road, and it was basically a tear down cabin. So $658,000, pretty good buy, really. Then Lakeshore Road right at the head of the lake, there was a couple of sales there. This one for $749,000. It sold really quickly in 16 days. 50-foot frontage, quarter acre, small older home, not quite 1,200 square feet, built in 1953. And then this is the other one at $780,000, 1,473 square foot home, again on a 50-foot lot. It's set quite a ways back, as you can see. Now this one snuck in. It actually is a single family, although it is within a strata. This one sold for $781,000. This is in the back. It backs onto Okanagan Landing Road, and then in front there's another bank of waterfront single family homes in this Bearland strata as well. So $781,000 for that one. We had a couple of sales in there, and we'll get to the next one shortly. This one, 7953 Okanagan Landing Road, sold for $800,000. And this one, 1950 built, 1,760 square foot house with 50 feet of frontage. Tons and tons of work. Tons of work. Well, yeah, tons of work. Small lot right by the yacht club. So there's a few concerns about that. 2 doors down from the yacht club, and fairly busy location. We live not too far from there, so we know how busy it is. This is 8271 Okanagan Landing Road, sold for 949,000 and 65 feet of frontage. This one, yeah, this one was a foreclosure. So the house was in extremely rough shape. But, for 949,000, you get a 65-foot of frontage lot. Plus, it included the land across Okanagan Landing Road, which you can maybe use for parking or possibly you could subdivide. Oops, I'm trying to go to the next house here. Oh, here's Delcliffe. This is one now. Delcliffe, beautiful, beautiful area down Okanagan Landing Road. Sold for $975. Wow, seems like a good deal for a 1988 house for 2,337 square feet. However, dog's breakfast. Portions of this house were not built on its own property and encroached on the lake and all sorts of problems on this one. So it finally sold for $975,000. This wasn't the first time it was listed. So that one was a bit of a troublesome property, but for somebody that was willing to live with that, it was a pretty good buy. Here's one on East Side Road also that sold for 1.07 million. Smaller home built in 93, 140 feet of lakefront. However, quite a hike. It's quite a ways down East Side Road and then quite a hike to get to the house. And here's one between the Blue Heron and Okanagan Landing Elementary School. Nice big lot, 0.29 of an acre. House was built in 84. 60 feet of frontage only on the lake. However, a nice, really, really deep lot, sold for 1.1 million. That was earlier in the year. That was March. So this house would definitely be worth more now, just for that location alone. This one, 8756 Okanagan Landing Road, sold for 1.1. It's on one side of the road. The lakefront is on the other, so that's why it sold for that price. Here's one quite a ways down, 9607 East Side Road, 1.29 million, 108 feet of waterfront, which is very nice. And so this one actually it's this half of an attached duplex. So the garage is located over here, and then your unit is over here, but it's a very nicely finished, developed unit. There's two of these side by side, really nice, nice access built down to the lake. It's a little bit of a little hike down to the lake, but not bad, not bad. 2,581 square feet, built in 2008, and the interior of this is just really, really nice. All these units are very beautiful. Then we'll head on to Tronson Road, which somehow says it's Okanagan Landing, but it definitely isn't. It should be, it's actually across the lake. 1.3 million, 3,492 square foot house built in 1969, 101 feet of waterfront, so that's really nice, and third of an acre. And I don't really know what else to tell you about this one. Lots of lawn, which is nice. It was a good lot, just an older home for 1.3 million. Yeah, and here's the other one that's sold in that Bearland strata, and these are the ones that are right on the lake. This one sold, the other one sold for 781. This one was 1.35 million, so quite the difference. 3,140 square feet, built in 2004. 7349 Brooks Lane. So this is the house that's right between Tuscan Terraces on this side and the Strand on this side. So a lot of multifamily, and this house lands right in the middle. Beautiful home, great lot, very, very deep, 397 feet deep, 85 feet of lake frontage, built in 2002 for 1.395 million. Pretty good value, and as you can see, it sold above list. List was 1.388 million. Next, we're back down in Delcliffe. And this has been for sale for many, 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 many years. Little tiny house on a huge frontage. I don't know how you can build on here. It's very, very skinny. You're too close to the water. It's a 960 square foot house built in 1950, but 186 feet of waterfront. Just beautiful. 1.4 million. I remember back, I'm pretty sure it was listed back in the day at 500,000 and never sold. So this lady's very lucky that she kept it. 7973 Okanagan Landing Road. This was a very nicely renovated. The fellow that bought this, I believe he bought it in 2007, 2008, put a fortune into renovating the inside and the outside. It was built in 81, but it showed far newer. Sold for 1.485 million. I think it was a good buy for somebody. The bedrooms were in the basement, so it was a bit different floor plan, but 2,388 square feet with nice views, good area. Not about 5 houses from the yacht club. You can see the kitchen was all custom and really beautiful house for 1.485 million. And 9471 East Side Road. This is a 1997 built house right down on the water. Little bit interesting access to this one also from your parking, from the road. But you're right down on the water once you get there, which is nice. 229 feet of lake frontage on 0.6 of an acre. So it's kind of a nice piece, 1.645 million. And this is 8499 Okanagan Landing Road, sold for 1.85. This is the most expensive house that's sold in Okanagan Landing. It wasn't too far down. It had 66 feet of lakefront, but this fellow had renovated this house over and over and over again. It was beautiful, great entertaining house, custom everything, totally open on the main floor, bedrooms in the basement, detached garage, parking across the street. Very, very cool uptown, funky pad type of place. Now we're briefly going to go through West Side. Here's on native land. We have this one on Able Cove that sold for 115. So if you're looking for something, or if anyone's looking for something far less expensive, this is what you've got. 200,000 for Robin's Nest, and then two in Mary's Emerald Bay Road, one for 280, and then 395,000. And that was a custom home built again on native leased land. Now we'll have a quick look at the strata properties that have sold also in 2016. First of all, well, it's pretty easy to get an idea of what we're looking at here. You can see these ones in the Adventure Bay condos. See if I can find a picture of the outside so that you maybe have an idea which ones we're talking about there. On Adventure Bay Road, right down before you turn right to go to Canadian Lakeview Estates. Unfortunately, I don't see a picture of the building on this one. However, this was a one bedroom, less than 500 square feet, that sold for 180,000 in there. And then there was two others. Most of them are two bedrooms, or kind of a quasi two bedroom, and one sold for 249 and one 269. I'm just not sure if I have this kind of, this was one of the ones actually down. Must have been right down on the lake. Most of them are above in the actual condos. Then we've got a number in Peregrine Point Estates that have sold. Now those ones are there we go. Those ones have lake access, but it's quite a hike to get down there. Mostly you buy these for the view, And then you do get the lake access also. So these were 380 to 480, and that largely depends on location and size and floor plan. Some are penthouses in there, some are lower units that you walk down to. So there's quite an assortment of different floor plans in this whole complex. So quite a range, as you can see, but still 380 to 480. Then there was one lone unit that sold in Summertree on the Lake this year. Sold it there. Those were built in 1981, and yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, I can tell you how many. Yeah, there's 50 units in the project, and that's about right. There's a few right down on the lake, and the rest of them are in behind. And this one sold for $480,000. Then we'll go into the Strand. So looking at the Strand, you have again an assortment. You have a one bedroom that sold for 180,000, and then you have a number of two bedrooms that sold for anywhere from 230 to 255 in there, and those are all around 900 and 950, 960, up to 965 square feet. Then there was one that sold for 299. I'm just trying to I'm oh yeah, okay, so yeah, this was a 1.5 story unit. It's kind of an interesting floor plan, quite different. You have the, let's see, it's not giving me the actual floor plan, but basically there's a upstairs is the master bedroom. I think it's the master bedroom only. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to see this one personally, but kind of a neat idea. Good floor plan, just something different. All the rest of them, or most of the rest of them, are just 1 story units. Then we have the Outback. The Outback did great this year. We ended up having actually no, 6 sales in there by the end of the year, which is awesome. Oh no, 7. Just one sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 sales at the Outback. So yeah, number 70. This one was a Trout Lake unit. T- Let me just have a look here. Sorry. That was, yeah, this was the forest cabin with no casita. So it was only a 2 bedroom. So it was a smaller style forest cabin. Most of them have 3 bedrooms, including a detached casita. And this was one of the few that didn't have a casita. And it sold for 340. Then here's one Trout Lake that sold for 375. It was right by the pool. Another 3 bedroom Trout Lake that was more by the entrance, sold for 380. This was a bit of an anomaly. This was a South Bay unit, except there's a South Bay down here and then a South Bay up here, and it's not really in South Bay. It's on your way to South Bay. So both number 145 and 146 sold this year. This one sold for 400. It was the lower unit. And then I think, yeah, 146 sold for 428.5, the upper unit. So again, this is the roadway that goes down to South Bay, but they call them South Bay units, but usually the South Bay units are far more expensive. Okay, I'll come back to this one. It's misfiled. And here's a Quarry Bay that sold on the Outback. It was a 2 bedroom, 2 story unit with the bedrooms downstairs right on the water. It was really fantastic. Sold for 475. This was the first unit actually in the Outback that had sold in a long time. Actually, you can see right there, it was right on the water. And then I'm just going to jump ahead and go to the last one that sold in the Outback. This was a ridge home with a fabulous location, sold for 1.37 million. Really, really beautiful. So big home, 2,257 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. So you can see in the outback we had quite a spread, 340,000 all the way up to 1.37 million. One unit that sold in this little older complex right by where the lakeside used to be, built in 1969 these were. They're 3 bedrooms. It's a kind of a 2-story unit, 1,100 and almost 1,200 square feet, sold for 470,000. It was the only one that sold in there this year. Then we had, oh, sorry, going in the wrong direction here. Then there was a number that sold in Silverton on the lake. Actually, no, not a number, one. Well, one's a number. Number 17, it sold for 484,000. These were built in 96. They're kind of parallel. Most of the townhouse units are parallel to the lake, and then there's a bank at the back here also that looks over the lake but backs onto the road. So this one was a 2-story unit, well, a grade level entry unit, 1,660, 484,000. So that's the Silverton sale. And then in Tuscan Terraces, this one sold for 657,593. It was new construction. That obviously sold, well, I don't know whether it sold with or without the building or how they came up with that number. It was listed at 969. And anyway, it's always very confusing in there. So I can't really explain what happened. And then this is one in Vista Verona on the 3rd floor, 743,000, 1,695 square feet. So a really nice size 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit with lots of bells and whistles. Really beautiful, beautiful places in Vista Verona for sure. And then we have one more unit that sold in Tuscan Terraces for 992. So that wraps up our strata information and our single family information for waterfront sales. If you would like to receive detailed information about these sales, we can certainly easily send those to you. Just let us know and we're happy to send you the link. Thanks for watching. I know this was a long video, but I think it's important, especially for people who are looking to sell in the coming year. Please call us anytime and we'll come out and give you an accurate evaluation of what your place is worth, and we would love to be of assistance. Thanks for watching.